Then, yeah, I saw Dawn in theaters with the Marcohood, obviously.
What is the Marcohood?
Okay, I think it's time we finally explain the Marcohood.
I don't even know how to explain it. I was a part of it, and I don't even understand how.
So in grade,
is it like a cult?
Yes.
Here's the Marcohood, Danny, and listeners, if anyone's interested. In grade 11, Carolina and I were in a split grade 11-12 French class. Okay. So we made a lot of friends in that class that were in grade 12, obviously. Two of those friends, and were their names, not that we hate. Him and our friend, okay? And I kind of latched onto me, and we sort of became friends. They were kind of like, yeah, we like your vibe. You're like a cool, nerdy guy. And I was like, okay.
Yeah,
and
I think they were very, entertained by you.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I think they were entertained by the plight of grade 11 Marco.
Yeah.
Like a corner circus monkey?
I was. No, I legitimately was. But then, simultaneous to this was that liked Carolina.
Yeah.
And so, he concocted this thing that, wasn't... So he came up with this idea, because, we all sat next to each other, the four of us.
Okay.
And so he started referring to us as the Marcohood, as, a joke, because they thought I was, fun and funny and enjoyed me, and so they kind of, joked that they, worshipped me. But anyway, and at the time, I didn't know he liked Carolina. So at the time, it was, this was the Marcohood, okay? And then we just started hanging out and doing stuff together, and we had a group chat called the Marcohood, and we would, make plans and go see movies and go get food. And then, as a joke, we wrote up a Marcohood creed that was, the Apostles' Creed? I basically... took that and just changed words out but kept the same syntax, and we came up with a Marcohood creed, and we all signed it as it was a joke. It was that they worshipped me.
It's just a bit we took way too far.
Yeah, no, it was it was one of the greatest bits of all time. We took it way too far. Lo and behold, then I found out that was only doing this because he wanted to go out with Carolina, which then ended in complete disaster through no fault of Carolina's own. It was not her fault. And then we just stopped doing stuff because he basically told me that the only reason he was doing stuff in the group was because he liked Carolina.
Got it.
And I was like, okay.
And then we never spoke again.
And this was...
Aiden was a part of it for a bit, too. He signed the creed at some point.
After about 4 or 5 months, he was kind of like, what's this Marcohood thing? And then so he joined the creed as well.
Yeah, it was post-creed, pre-collapse. There was one golden summer where we were able to all hang out and function.
Wait, it lasted that long?
It was the summer between grade 11 and 12. Yeah.
Oh.
But by the time grade 12 started, it was over.
Yeah. Well, because that was when. Yeah, that's when everything.
Yeah.
I mean, because we had a hangout before I went. You went on vacation, right?
Yeah.
I think I went on vacation too. We both. But anyway, we had a hangout, and after months of being like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I was like, shut up or ask her out. I was like, I can't do this anymore. And so
it's interesting that you were giving him that advice, but okay.
Why? Because
your entire plight for all of high school about one person that you never stopped talking about?
That is a very different story.
Okay.
That's a story of I did, and that person said no, and I said, okay, respect. And then I backed away from that person, and that person kept flirting with me to get my attention, and then I would give my attention, and then she would back away, and then it was a dance. It was a tango. And then eventually I was like, oh, this is borderline abusive that she just flirts with me when she wants my attention. And then that ended. So different. But I appreciate what you're saying. But I gave the advice to ask you out. We all went our separate ways on vacation. We came back from vacation, and he just never made plans with her, and here we are to this day. And thus ended the Marcohood, because he got a yes and didn't follow up on it.
Is Marcohood a play on Brotherhood? Is that what that is?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
It just sounded culty.
Which was our goal.
Got it.
Yeah. So we had one summer, the summer of 2014, where we saw a bunch of movies together, including 22 Jump Street, Dawn and Planet of the Apes, bunch of shit. I don't know what else we saw. Other stuff.
X-Men.
We saw X-Men. We hung out at my house sometimes. We had some bonfires.
Dungeons and Dragons once.
Yeah.
But that was weirdly post-collapse. I remember it being really awkward.
Yeah. That was September-ish.
That was an attempt at reviving the Marcohood, and then the vibes were so off, and we're like, never mind, this is over.
I think forced it. If I remember correctly, I think was texting me and he was like, we got to make this happen. We got to bring the Marcohood back. And I was like, I respect it. And I liked hanging out with all of us. But you need to understand that one of the four of us is not on the same page about this. But we forced him, and it was a complete disaster. And then we never hung out again. So in a way, it kind of resembles what happened with Caesar and the Apes.
How?
Because, like, there was this golden period, and then I guess is Koba, and then we split, and then became friends and just stayed over there, and you and I became friends and went over here. So, like, I guess...
Oh my god.
I guess...
There's gonna be so much bleeping in this episode.
Just bleep the entire thing. But leave it in. Like 5 minutes of just bleep.
So this is the Marcohood.
Carol, are you okay?
I want to take my sweater off, but I want to be able to hear you, but I don't know if I have room.
We can wait.
We can just pause. We have the ability
I know,
to
but I just
pause.
like, I hate disrupting the flow.
We just went on a 10-minute tangent about our love lives in grade 11. I think we're good.
Okay.
Also, I like how, like, we were just calling everyone by name.
It gets
and
really
you were
hot
like,
when I close my window.
I like how we were calling everyone by their names in that segment, and you were like, the girl from high school. Like, as if one more name to bleep out.
Well, but I don't know. I feel bad. I feel like she's you said was Koba. I feel like she was the worst person in all of the story we told. So I don't even want to have that beneath a bleep. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Oh, she's just. But you know what I've always said? Like, I've had this conversation with Madison. We'll talk about these movies eventually. Well, I've had this conversation with Madison. Is I don't think it was, like, intentionally malicious, because I don't think she's smart enough to have done it intentionally. Like, I know, like, I legitimately think it was more, like, just the response to seeing, like, this is what I would have to do to get this level of attention, and not even necessarily realizing, not having it be, like, a conscious thing of, like, I'm actively being a shitty person to this person. So I will leave it there, because she did reach out and apologize, like, a little bit after the fact, maybe like a year or two after we stopped talking, and I was like, yeah, I mean, whatever, we were in high school, I don't really care that much, so life goes on.
Fair.
We should just talk about high school one day on the podcast. No one would listen. Everyone we'd have to bleep
we
out
would
every
listen.
other
Guys,
word.
we could just have a
wouldn't.
call and
No one
talk
would
about it
listen.
together. Like,
No
I
one
don't
would
know why you want to do this.
why would we do that?